Donald Trump went to an unlikely venue to hold a town hall meeting Wednesday night U.S. time. At the belly of the beast, CNN. It was quite a performance, with as much for the Trump fans as for the haters.
It comes to big questions about what your immigration policy would look like if you are reelected. Some of your Republican rivals have criticized you for not fulfilling the promises that you made on the campaign trail, like finishing the border wall. So how did voters know that you would get those done if you're reelected?
I did finish the wall. I built a wall. I built hundreds of miles of wall. And
all in all, it's just another brick in the wall. All in all, it's just another brick in the wall.
I built hundreds of miles of wall. If we didn't have it, it would be hard to believe it could be any worse. They're just letting people flow into our country. Look, there's never been anything like is happening to our country right now.
You built about 52 miles of new wall. About 52 miles of new wall.
You'll have 400 plus miles of wall built by election day.
Very easily we'll be up to that, and we'll have 500 miles just a little bit after the end of the year, way ahead of schedule. And this is despite the fact that the Democrats didn't want to have any wall built because they wanted open borders. Think about it. I built hundreds of miles. Some of the wall was up there, and it would be laying on the ground, rusted, rotten steel. They considered that a wall. I built 30-foot walls that go down 7 feet into the ground. If there was a little piece of wood sitting in the ground, they said, oh, he's not building a wall. We already had a wall. Because this is the game. They're a party of disinformation.
It's not a game, Mr. President. It's about 52 miles of new wall.
A ceremony in Texas today commemorates 400 miles of new border wall constructed under President Trump. The milestone comes less than a week before the election, and the president is using it as a reminder to voters that he's keeping his promises.
This is the game. They're a party of disinformation.
It's not a game, Mr. President. It's about 52 miles of new wall.
We've built now over 400 miles of border wall, southern border.
It's a claim both lauded and villainized. But how accurate is it? According to CBP figures, 371 miles of new wall had gone up as of earlier this month. Acting Homeland Security Secretary Chad Wolf announced Thursday the 400 mark had been met.
Even our most ardent critics recognize that the wall is being built.
One other immigration policy you had when you were in office.
I built new wall.
52 miles
for hundreds of miles.
CBP, Mr.
What I did is
hundreds of miles of low barrier meant to stop vehicles, but not people.
And they're replacing it
with this.
With this.
Yeah, this idea that it's just a replacement, at best it's misguided, at worst it's a complete, flat-out lie.
I built new wall
52 miles
for hundreds of miles.
CBP, Mr.
What I
President.
did is I replaced other wall that was laying down, that was up and rotting in the ground for 30 years. Some of it was steel that you couldn't even see.
Mr. President, it was only about 52 miles of new wall.
So we can verify that under President Trump, 400 miles of new border wall, or close to that number, have been constructed.
You built about 52 miles of new wall when you were in office, Mr. President. It wasn't the complete wall. One other thing that with
no, but I have to respond to that.
With your immigration, it was only about 52 miles of new wall.
This is what she does.
According to DHS, 338 more miles of border wall are under construction or are in pre-construction phase. Now, Joe Biden has vowed if he wins the election, he'll halt all new construction.
President Donald Trump calling for peace during today's visit to the U.S.-Mexico border in South Texas, where he touted his administration's role in building roughly 450 miles of wall along the southern border.
He should not be given that kind of a platform to spew his constant pathological lying.
And predictably continued to spew lie after lie after lie.
And I think we needed a chyron. This is a lie, this is a lie, this is a lie, this is a lie.
About 52 miles of new wall.
I built hundreds of miles.